Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Hannah. I'm a flight attendant for a major US airline, and today I will be working an all-nighter trip. So originally I was supposed to work a 3-day trip that started yesterday, but it was a 3-2-1, and day one we were supposed to end up in Tampa. But as most of you guys know, there is a hurricane that is hitting Florida. I think today is supposed to be making landfall. So 2 days ago, they started evacuating crews out of the area, and then they canceled all the flights into Tampa yesterday. So they canceled our leg into Tampa, and then they canceled our leg the next morning out of Tampa. So my trip went from a 3-2-1 to a 2-1-1, which, if you guys have been following me for a while, you've heard me say this before, but at the beginning of every new month of trips that we get, I will just put all of my trips up on our electronic trade board and put them up to drop. So if anybody wants to pick them up, they can pick them up. So I had that one in there, and someone picked it up the night before the trip left, because I guess it got so much easier, because day one, instead of doing 3 legs, it turned into just a Raleigh turn, which is super quick because those flights are like 20 minutes long. And then we ended up having a 20-hour layover in Charlotte. So I'm sure someone that lives in the area just picked it up because then they could go back home and get paid to be home and then just work 2 legs the rest of the trip, like super easy. So when that dropped, because of the hurricane, there are crews stuck in different places. There are trips getting all messed up. So our trips have turned into red flag trips, which means that we get paid time and a half for any trips we pick up if we are off, and then pick up a trip on our day off. So my original plan was to pick up a normal 2-day, but none of the 2 days that were open with the red flag, well, a lot of them were really bad trips, like had 4 legs in a day, and I was like, definitely not doing that. Or they just got back really late at night, because I would have loved to do that, because then I would have gotten paid the same amount as a 3-day, but only 2 days worth of flying. But when none of those trips were working out, I saw that they had an all-nighter that was red flagged, and I was like, well, I can do that because I still have my whole day today, and I'll have my whole day tomorrow, which will be perfect because on Friday, I'm going out of town for the weekend, so I'm still kind of home even though I'm working, and it'll make up some of those hours that I lost. So yeah, it was a long introduction, and hopefully all of that made sense. But we have the whole day today to get some stuff done before we'll be heading to the airport. It is 10:15 right now, and I don't think I need to leave my house till around 7:30. So we got lots of time, but I do have some stuff that I need to get done before we head to the airport tonight. My mornings at home always start the same. I have my coffee and do my devotions before I start anything else. I've also been drinking emergencies in the morning. I have been getting colds a lot lately, so I've been doing this to just kind of help prevent that. I needed to go run some errands, so the dogs get a treat anytime anyone leaves the house, and they love these little cookies from Trader Joe's, but had to go to Hobby Lobby to find some meringue powder for some icing that I was making for some cookies I made that I was going to be taking to a football game. So once I get the icing made, I have to color it, and then it was time to start decorating the cookies, which just takes forever because you can only do one step at a time. So first I outlined the little cockies, and then moved on to the footballs, and then did the base of the helmets. You have to let everything dry before you can do anything else, so that's why it's just such a long process. But I filled in the little beaks of the cockies, filled in his eyes, and then it was time to pack up my little backpack that I take on my Odans. Ate some dinner, and the dogs, of course, were hoping I would drop some on the floor. It is 7:30. I'm letting the dogs go potty, and then I'm going to head to the airport. My sign-in's not till 9:55, but I need to get gas, and I'm also not sure what traffic is going to be like at this hour going to the airport, because I don't typically go to the airport at this time of the day. So also, it's crazy that it's already like dark outside at 7:30. We're getting to that time of the year, but yeah, once they finish, we'll get in the car and head towards the airport. And again, the dogs get their little somebody's leaving the house treat, which is the only way that I can get them to not freak out when I go on trips. I did get stuck in a little bit of traffic, but nothing too crazy. It is 9:40. A bus is about to pull up, so we will sign in with plenty of time to spare for our one little leg tonight. This time of the year, late night flights are not as popular as they are in the summer, so the airport was pretty chill. I was position 1 this trip, and we were on the 737, so this was my galley I had to work with on our way to Nashville. We left a minute early and got in 17 minutes early. We just got to the hotel. It is midnight local time, which means it is 1 a.m. my time. We have 5 hours. Our van is at 5 a.m. so I'm probably gonna set my alarm for 4:30 and just get up, put my clothes on, and go. That's typically what happens on these ODANs. So I'm going to wash my face, get in the bed, and try to get as much sleep as I can these next 4.5 hours. All right, you guys, it is 4:50. I am about to head downstairs to catch the van. I got 4 hours of sleep last night. My sleep score was, I think it said it was a 51, which honestly is pretty good for these type of trips, because sometimes I can't sleep at all on these trips, just in anticipation of knowing I have to get up in a couple hours. So glad I was able to get pretty decent rest considering the circumstances. If you're watching this and you're like, I thought you said you were working an all-nighter, you just slept for 4 hours. So these are considered all-nighter trips because we don't get our minimum rest. So basically they list it as an all-nighter trip so that once we get back into Charlotte, they can't call us to work anything else. Like, we have been on duty technically since we left Charlotte last night because we have not gotten that minimum rest. So that is why it's considered an all-nighter, even though we don't actually fly all throughout the night. But let's go downstairs. Our van driver last night was saying that there was a little crew lounge room that had snacks and stuff, so I'm going down a few minutes early, so I'm gonna go look in there and see what they have going on, see what kind of coffee they have in there, if they have any good coffee. But yeah, let's go downstairs and get our last little leg started. I didn't have a chance to check out the little snack room because the van driver was ready to go by the time I got down there, but I did get my coffee before we headed to the airport. We left like 12 minutes early, but then had to sit on the taxiway for 40 minutes because of flow control into Charlotte. So we ended up getting in about 5 minutes late, but everybody was sleeping, so I was just eating my chips, trying to stay awake. It is 9 o'clock. I feel okay right now, but usually on these trips, once I have been driving on the highway for about 45 minutes, it really starts to hit me how tired I am. So my plan is to stop at Chick-fil-A, get some food for a little bit of energy, and then hopefully that will put me in a little food coma by the time I get home to be able to take a good nap. But let's get on the road and make our way home. My go-to breakfast Chick-fil-A order is the minis meal with the hash browns. Got to get that vanilla iced coffee as well. It hit the spot on my drive home. Ozzy is our little door greeter. Every time someone comes to the door, or like to the house, he waits at the garage door until they open it, and then he has to give them their little greeting. He's so sweet. That drive wasn't too bad. There was never a point where I felt like I wouldn't be able to keep my eyes open, which is good because that's not always the case on those drives back. But I'm definitely ready for a nap. My eyes are hurting a little bit, so it'll be good to close them for a couple hours and get a little bit of rest before we have to get a few more things done today before I go out of town tomorrow. I got about a 2-hour nap in. I'm a little bit groggy right now, but as the day goes on, that should kind of go away. Hopefully it will go away because I need to finish those cookies. I still need to do my devotions for the day. I want to go get a pedicure before my trip tomorrow. I need to pack, so there's some stuff I got to get done the rest of this afternoon, which I figured I would just keep this video going so I could at least show you how the cookies turn out since you started this little cookie journey with me. So let's see what all we get done this afternoon. I drank my little emergency for the day. I switch between the orange and the raspberry every other day just to change it up. I prefer the raspberry, but I do like a little variety. Then we got back to decorating our cookies. I filled in the whites of the eyes of the cockies, finished the base of the footballs, added some details to the helmet, and then I filled in the rest of my cockies. Then I was able to go in and start adding details to the footballs, finish my helmets by adding the little logo on them, and then finished up my footballs by adding the extra laces to the sides. And here was the final result of my little Gamecock tailgate cookies. I did end up going to get a pedicure that evening around 6:30. Went by TJ Maxx after that, got some clothes, and then ended up meeting my sisters for dinner at Moe's. Got my devotions in at the end of the day before I went to bed. You guys, it is 11:30 and I'm still awake. For some reason. I'm about to go to bed though, so that was all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was mostly just me doing random things with a little trip thrown in there. But I am going out of town tomorrow to go to the Carolina-Alabama game. That's in Alabama, so I might vlog that for you guys. We'll see. But as always, any questions, comments, whatever, put them in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.